Hello students and viewer. Today I am going to talk about genetics of diazotrops. So how microorganism, how they has genes and which genes they are useful for nodulation and nitrogen fixation, even if the hydrogen uptake. So all that genes will be explained in this lecture. You see, nodal formation and nitrogen fixation are two biological processes which are controlled by genes of diazotrops. So, nodal formation as well as nitrogen fixation, all these activities, all these processes, they are controlled by genes only, and that genes of whom? Genes of microorganisms. So, from the rhizobial genome, numerous symbiotic genes encoding for nodulation and nitrogen fixation have been identified. So, these NOD, right, NOD gene, which is for nodule formation, and NIF gene for nitrogen fixation, right? Nitrogen fixation is done by which gene? NIF gene, right? And the formation of nodule takes place with the help of NOD, right? So why the NOD is given? It's given the name for nodule, right? So as this gene is develops or forms the nodule, hence the name of gene is given as NOD. Don't write NODE, it has again another meaning, right? So NOD gene, so node gene and NIF gene. Node gene for nodulation, NIF gene for nitrogen fixation. Next, in free living and symbiotic nitrogen fixers, nodal forming and non-nodal forming NIF genes are present on genome or megaplasmid in their cells. So all these genes, where they are located, they are present on the genome or on a megaplasmid of a cell. Now, node gene, right? So node gene, as I explained you, node gene, they are useful for nodule formation. So see here the first point, nodule forming species of rhizobium consist of an extremely large plasmid known as megaplasmid. Known as what? Megaplasmid. So this is mega means a bigger plasmid, which is extremely large plasmid, where it is present in a rhizobium species, and this megaplasmid possesses the genes. Which genes? Node genes and NIF genes. So node genes for nodulation, NIF genes for nitrogen fixation, right? Node genes and NIF genes are closely located. However, a physiological map of 135 segment of megaplasmid was established which contain node NIF regions. So yes, uh, uh, by research, this is again proved that node genes and NIF genes, they are closely located, right? Node genes and NIF genes. Next, then Kodorosi et al. Now see it and al. When it is given, when it is added et al. Suffix, when the co-workers or researchers are more than two, right? So here many researcher are there, hence the suffix is there, et and al, et al, we pronounce it as et al. So Condorcet et al in 1982, they transferred, what they transfer, see, megaplasmid of Rhizobium meliloti into the Rhizobium species or the Rhizobium species and Agrobacterium tumefaciens. So we know that Agrobacterium tumefaciens, this is, you might have heard in case of this cotton, right? So this Agrobacterium tumefaciens, so this bacterium present on a alpha alpha plant. Alpha alpha nothing but Medicago sativa, it is one kind of a grass, right? So this Rhizobium meliloti plasmid is transferred to other Rhizobium and Agrobacterium tumefaciens. So here, why they have transferred these plasmids of these rhizobium into a other rhizobium as well as this agrobacterium tumefaciens. So we know that rhizobium, they helps to form the nodule, right? They helps to form nodule. Now in case of this agrobacterium tumefacium, nodules are not getting formed. So we have to confirm the genes of this rhizobium. We know that genes of this rhizobium, they are help for the nodule formation as well as nitrogen fixation. So same genes, they are incorporated into a agrobacterium tumefaciens as well as other rhizobium species, so that we come means we have to confirm whether these genes, they are functioning in other bacteria and they are functioning for proper nodule formation and nitrogen fixation or not. So that has been this research has been done by this Condorcet et al, right? And then they concluded from their research that they formed or they observed the nodulations, early nodulation steps as like the rhizobium done. So these steps also encoded by this other rhizobium species as well as agrobacterium tumefaciens. And however, it has been confirmed that nodulation occurs only in certain stages. Let me take another color. So only in certain stages this nodulation is going to occur. If particular stage is passed, then there will not be a nodule formation. So to form or to occur the nodules on the root, there should be a particular stage of that particular root. So here then only these genes will activates and they will form the nodule on a plant root. So if the early period is over, node genes do not express. See, if early period means what? We want which period? Early period of root initiation, right? So early period, if it is over, then node genes do not express. If node genes do not express, there will not be a formation of nodule. Now, the structural and functional conservation of common node genes has become a tool to identify common node genes of other species of rhizobium. Yes, obviously, this conservation of these node genes are become a tool, and we can use this node gene tool to identify the other species of rhizobium. Then recently about 25 kilobase pair fragment of megaplasmid containing all essential node genes has been identified and a recombinant plasmid has been constructed. Again see here. So this is suppose this is the fragment you have. It is a 25 kilobase pair of fragment, and you have this plasmid with you, right? Plasmid is nothing but what? It is again a DNA sequence, right? So you have to cut this plasmid, right? You have to cut this plasmid and then you have to incorporate this plasmid here. Okay, suppose I want to give color to this plasmid. So this plasmid is incorporated over here, which containing node and NEF genes is here, and this plasmid now it become a recombinant plasmid, right? So this recombinant plasmid, it is then incorporated into agrobacterium tumefaciens, right? So this is transferred to this agrobacterium tumefaciens, and then they observed that agrobacterium tumefaciens is able to develop the nodules on alpha alpha roots, right? And then it is going to confirm that yes, this fragment has node and NEF gene, and even if it is incorporated, even it is taken up with the another vector, it is going to show its activity. Next, NEF gene, right? NEF gene is nothing but what? First Ni, it stands for nitrogen, and F for fixation. So nitrogen fixing genes are called as NEF genes. So see here in the Rhizobium leguminosarum, Rhizobium meliloti, and other species, NEEF genes are located on a megaplasmid adjacent to node genes. Right? Means adjacent to node genes, these NEEF genes are present. In case of cyanobacteria, what they observed, in case of cyanobacteria, for example, in Anabina 7120, it's the number given to this particular algae, right, for this research. So this Anabina 7120, here the NEEF genes are localized or present on a chromosome. The early studies of NEEF genes were carried out in Klebsiella pneumoniae. Klebsiella pneumoniae is one kind of facultative anaerobic bacteria, and they confirmed that uh, they confirmed that NEEF genes in Rhizobium, Cyanobacteria, and other, they able to fix this atmospheric nitrogen, right? So in a Klebsiella pneumoniae, this again the studies of these NEEF genes were carried out. Now see, this is a particular NEEF genes of which is present in a Klebsiella pneumoniae. So as I explained you, Klebsiella pneumoniae, it is a facultative anaerobic bacteria. Facultative means what? Yes, with or without oxygen, it can complete its life cycle. So this Klebsiella pneumoniae, from this bacteria, this NEEF gene is studied. So see here, this particular mark, see this mark to this, right? So this is 24 kilobase pair of the NEEF gene, and it is NEEF gene, they are located in this, in between histidine and shikimic acid, right? The gene which is going to form histidine and the gene which is going to form the shikimic acid, so in between these NEEF genes are located. So NEEF gene has 7 operons. So see here, 7 operon. I will give the number over here. This operon number 1, this is second, this is third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh. So these NEEF genes of Klebsiella pneumoniae had 7 operons, right? And these operon has again functions. Okay, so which function they perform? Just look at here in this, where it is colored diagram towards your left hand side. So this NEEF gene has operon, and particularly see this YKDH. Okay, see here. Let me use now pointer. YKDH, this operon. Right? Now come to this color diagram. YKDH, right from Y to H, right? So what you are observing here, this is the component of nitrogenase enzyme. So here YKDH is helpful to form the complexes or component of nitrogenase enzyme, right? So see here, particularly HG gene, it is in orange color. This FH gene is going to form the smaller subunit of nitrogenase, right? H gene is going to form smaller subunit, that is ferroprotein subunit. Okay, here it is written gamma, right? Then D and K, just concentrate on D and K. So D is going to form the D and K going to form the larger subunit, that is molybdoferroprotein, right? So this D and K, D is going to particularly form the 2 alphas, and K is going to form, which is in blue color, dark blue color, see here, it is going to form 2 beta. Okay, so we know that molybdoferroprotein is made up of 2 alpha and 2 beta, right? So here alpha subunit is given by D gene, whereas beta subunit is given by K gene. Okay, and altogether this HDK is going to gives you nitrogenase complex, right? So how nitrogenase complex and how they are coming from? They are coming from these genes. H will gives you Fe protein, smaller subunit, whereas D and K will gives you larger subunit. Understood? Now come towards this which is AL, right? AL is here, which is second operon, right? In here. Now come to the color diagram, LA. So LA, this gene, they are act as regulatory genes. Means to regulate this activity, enzyme activity or not, this is regulated by these regulator A and L, right? Means suppose this is a regulatory genes, they gives the permission, then they will this nitrogenase enzyme will carry out its activity, right? If it is doesn't allow, then no nitrogenase activity will be done. So likewise these are the genes LA which regulates this nitrogenase enzyme, whereas the main 6 operon, that is YKDH. So here it is, you have to read from your left to right. Okay, YKDH. So this is for nitrogenase enzyme, right? And this is the first A diagram. It is the, see here I have given also, this is the Neef gene cluster of Klebsiella pneumoniae, and particularly this first diagram it is of vegetative cell, and second diagram it is of Neef genes of heterocyst cell, right? So Neef genes, they are present in a vegetative, also in a these heterocyst cell. So likewise these Neef genes, they are working. Now see these hoop genes and this next nodulin genes, this is not in your study, but just only for 2 minutes I will explain this, because this is indirectly again helping for this nitrogen synthesis. Directly indirectly means all these hoop and nodulin genes, they are helping, right? So hoop genes nothing but what? This is hydrogen uptake genes, right? H for hydrogen and UP stands for uptake, right? Hence the gene name is given hoop, HUP, hoop. So this see, hoop genes have ability to recycle H2 back to nitrogenous complex, and this mechanism helps the plant to harvest energy. Okay, so as I have mentioned you, H2 which is produced while conversion of N2 to NH3. Okay, just go back now of explain mine explanation of nitrogenous complex. There I have mentioned that. So this H2, if it is remain there, then nitrogenous activity will not be carried out. So H2 should be carried out, and this H2 is taken up by whom? This H2 is taken up by hydrogenase enzyme, right? And hydrogenase enzyme, when it will work? When this hoop genes will give signal to that hydrogenase enzyme, then hydrogenase enzyme will combine with this H2, and then it will go back to give the electron to the ferredoxin, and then ferredoxin will gives electron further for this nitrogenase enzyme, right? So likewise hydrogenase enzyme hoop genes, they are carried out their activity. Now next fourth is nodulin genes. Nodulin genes, this again very important, because this again helps to form the nodules. So there are three types of nodulin: group 1 nodulin, group 2 nodulin, and group 3 nodulin. So group 1 nodulin, there helps in structural polypeptides of nodulins, whereas group 2, it is associated with the uride metabolism that converts NH3 into urides. Means ammonia is going to convert it into a urides, and in turn uride going to convert into a amino acids and nucleotides. So this is very important. Nodulin is group 2 nodulin. Then see group 3 nodulin, again it is very important in case of leguminous plants because this protein it include the protein that regulates the reduction of nitrogen. Okay, so leg hemoglobin is uh, directly associated with the group 3 nodulin genes. Okay, group 3 nodulin genes, if it is there, it will give signal to the leg hemoglobin, then leg hemoglobin will combine with the oxygen to form oxyhemoglobin, and then if once the oxyhemoglobin will form, then nitrogenous activity will be suitable, it will carry out the nitrogen fixation. So likewise, I have discussed the four types of genes. First is which gene? Node gene, which is for nodule formation. Then NEF gene for nitrogen fixation. Even I have explained about the NEF gene of Klebsiella pneumoniae. Third gene is Hoop gene, hydrogen uptake gene, and the fourth gene is nodulin gene. So this is the end of this genetics of diazotropy. Thank you for patience listening.